Fala pessoal, de boa, continuando a nossa gameplay do Starfield, de onde paramos aí então no último vídeo, né? Dei uma pausa ali leve pra gente fazer umas coisas no Honkai e no Genshin, e agora a gente já voltou aqui com a gameplay e seguindo ali também com a história da Frota Escarlate, beleza? Temos duas missões ali liberadas, né? Essa daqui que a gente já vai continuar a história e ainda mais as evidências ali que a gente sempre vai ir pegando aí no meio do caminho até a hora que completar a missão, beleza? Então, bora lá continuar a história.
All right, Jazz. What do you got?
According to the latest, the comm spike is being developed at UC Star Station SY920. Location undisclosed.
Fantastic. So how do we disclose it?
We could lean on your smuggling contact. Call in that favor. You know who I mean.
Our friend on Jimson. Nice one, Jazz. I'll make the arrangements. All right, Rook. Next stop, New Atlantis. Your connection is Huan. She's got most of the premium UC smuggling routes locked down tight. If you don't piss her off, she should be able to sneak you past SY920's security.
Just remember to count your fingers after you shake hands with her.
Don't worry. We know how to deal with her type.
Definitely. We're talking cargo depots, star yards, research stations, and, like in SY920's case, military outposts. I've never seen someone new to the game have so many contacts. It's the reason we let her join up in the first place. I don't know how she accomplished that. We've been trying to crack some of those places for years. You're in the fleet. You should always expect trouble. As far as Huan goes, even though she's one of our newer contacts, you shouldn't have any problems dealing with her. I sure hope so, because she might be our only crack at finding a decent decryption device. Once Huan gets you past the guard dogs, it's gonna be on you to locate the comm spike. According to the data we have, it's in the prototype phase, meaning there should only be a single device aboard the station.
Basically, you break it, you bought it. We paid good money for the information, so I'm sure it works. And if it doesn't, a certain source at Mast is gonna have to deal with a very pissed off Neva. And that would be the end of that. You just bring the tech here, I'll do the rest.
Oh, and one more thing. SY920 is a UC military installation. That means it's guarded by heavily armed troops. And we both know those idiots don't mess around. If you intend to turn the place into a shooting gallery, you might want to be sure you're hauling an arsenal, because you're gonna need it. She's got the clout to get you in the front door. They're gonna think you're part of a regular supply delivery. Beyond that, you and Huan are gonna have to put your heads together and come up with a plan. Are you kidding? The UC's already painted giant red crosshairs on our backs. Keyway and his pals at SysDef won't rest until we're dead. It's not like you can make them any angrier at us, right? Shoot the place full of holes if you want. Just bring back that comm spike. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna arrange a meeting with Huan at Kay's place in the well. In the meantime, I'll make sure Jazz comes up with a solution to the electromagnetic atmosphere problem at Bannock 4.
Oh, okay. You'll make sure. More like, get drunk while Jazz does all the hard work. Typical.
Privileges of rank, my darling. We'll discuss it a little later. And you, get the hell out of here. And don't come back without that comm spike in your cargo bay. I'm gonna leave that up to you, Rook. If you get into deep trouble, and you think bringing her into the fold is gonna make the difference, tell her whatever you want. At some point, Delgado's gonna be promising everyone their cut of Crix's legacy. If we want him to stick with the fleet, it's inevitable. But until the money's within reach, the less people that know, the better. The Crimson Fleet made contact with her about a year ago. We were searching for a smuggling connection in UC space, and her name kept popping up repeatedly, so I decided to put her to the test. Not only did she pass, but the results were off the charts. Made us both a ton of credits. That was good enough for me. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. But hey, as long as she keeps my gal bank account humming, she can keep all the secrets she wants. Good luck.
Beleza, então a gente tem um contato ali lá em Nova Atlântida, né? Na área do poço, para conversar. Então a gente já andou por Nova Atlântida, já andamos pelo poço, já exploramos tudo, fizemos missões e por aí vai. Por isso eu dei um corte aqui já para agilizar, né? E a gente já vai conversar com ela também. Então bora lá.
I take it your neighbor's new recruit? Ah, you must not be used to pirates being so cordial. But in the heart of New Atlantis, we have to do our best to keep up appearances. I can't afford to be as rough as some of our cohorts. It's bad for business. And rest assured, if I ever need to remember it, I will. SY920 is one of my regular stops, so I already have the necessary approvals. Neva says you're after a piece of UC tech. So to get it, we're going to need to get you on board. I can do that, but I have conditions. Good. If I can be candid, for this job to work, we'll have to do this my way. We take my ship, and you're a member of my crew. But make no mistake, once you board, the risk is entirely yours. This route is highly lucrative, and sacrificing it is not an option. Look, I know I don't have a lot of history with the fleet, but I'm putting my reputation and ship on the line for this. That alone should tell you enough. It's not personal. If you're caught, that entire installation will be on you. There's nothing I can do for you at that point, except send flowers to your next of kin.
There's more at stake than just your route. We're determined to get on that station, with or without your help.
I realize this is important to Delgado. I also know he would just as soon kill me to get what he's after. I'm simply setting boundaries to help protect my interests, while still serving Delgado's. In any case, when you're ready, meet me at my ship. It's the Jade Swan. And make sure you're prepared for the long haul. Once you're on board SY920, you can't come and go as you please. I'd like to, but I need to keep a low profile. In my experience, the more people know about you, the more they have over you. True, but silence is a powerful thing. I find the best way to get to know someone is to watch them work. Talking just muddies the picture. Anyways, I appreciate the small talk. Delgado's crew aren't usually so chatty. But let's keep our focus on the mission. We can swap bar stories and share scars when we've got enough creds to buy the bar and fix the scars. Enough to be on a first-name basis with the Marines working the comms. It also helps they want us to dock. A cargo ship means supplies, special requests, slates from home. In the void of space, a cargo hauler is a soldier's best friend. Only what I've been told. Get you on the SY920, get you out if I can. That being said, I can be a better guide if I know what it is we're after. So, it's up to you. Interesting. When we get to the station, I'll see if I can pull any information on its whereabouts. Hopefully that'll make for a smoother trip. Less than you. And even if I did, I'm a smuggler, not a scientist. But if Delgado's after it, then I have a feeling there's a pile of credits waiting at the end of this job. So we better do it right. We'll talk more on the ship.
Beleza, né? Então a gente precisa ir pro espaço-porto lá na nave, porém, antes de ir pra lá, a gente vai aqui pra esse restaurante, tá? Que é este daqui, né? A gente já conhece porque já exploramos o poço aqui inteiro, passamos aqui por uma missão secundária da área também. Chegando aqui na parte da cozinha, iremos encontrar uma prova relacionada a essa missão aqui também, então já vamos pegar ela também.
So, when did you stop flying the Swan anyway?
When the cargo became more valuable than the ship.
True. The fleet's got us real busy these days, and we are making good money smuggling all this contraband. But if any time was the right time for a break...
Hey, there's still work to do. I need to check with my contacts at the spaceport and find out what guards are on rotation when we leave port. Then it's back to the key to make sure Delgado gets his cut, and to make sure he hasn't cut us out. I worry sometimes that being in New Atlantis, we're missing out on the big scores. I know that old dog has something big planned. I can feel it.
Sheesh, that is a lot to think about. And here I thought the pirate life was carefree.
Maybe for some people, but that's not how I work.
Well, you feel free to plan our next moves from now to the new year. I'm all about living in the present and being where your feet are.
That's fine. Just make sure to wipe those feet before boarding my ship.
Beleza, então a gente já obteve a prova. Aí viemos aqui no espaço-porto, né? Essa nave gigantesca aí é dela. Então a gente simplesmente vai entrar ali e conversar lá na área de comando, né? Pra prosseguir ali pra missão, porque ela vai nos levar até a localização direitinho. Cuidado aí, porque a nave é gigante, né, mano? Pra chegar aqui demora um pouquinho, mano. Dá pra se perder aqui dentro, velho. É um caminho de rato, vamos dizer assim.
Hey.
Alright, a few things to note. When we get to the checkpoint, UC military will be hailing us. Let me do the talking. Pretend you're a piece of cargo if you have to. Of course, I don't expect it to be.
Rest assured, Delgado put us on this job for a reason. We're professionals.
Well, that might say more about the rest of his goons than it does you, but point taken. Now, like I said before, once we take off, there's no turning back until this job is done. If you need to take care of anything before we leave, do it. If you want to ask me any other questions, go for it. Alright, then get comfortable. We leave for SY-920 immediately.
All crew prepare for takeoff. Routing power to engine and grab drive. All systems go.
Yes, what?
We'll graph jump the SY-920 from here. Don't worry about your personal ship, the fleet will make sure it's secure. You can take this time to prepare. Just try not to bother my pilot while they're flying.
Don't worry, Captain.
Excuse
I've
me.
spent half my life walking and chewing gum at the same time. I can handle a little banter.
Sounds like you're putting in a request for double duty.
Captain, I retract my earlier statement. For the record, I don't even like gum.
Noted. Just get us there safe.
Roger that.
You've entered secure UC military space. Identify yourself or you will be considered hostile.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu, cargo class ship ID UC-793A, requesting permission to dock.
Identity confirmed. Prepare your ship for scanning. You're cleared to dock at docking bay 2.
Looks like we're clear. We'll talk more once we're docked. Okay, we're in. First things first. The station is enormous, with checkpoints everywhere. To get past them, you'll need a military uniform. And to get a uniform, you'll need to get to the barracks. There should be a way through the vents. You can get to them via the maintenance store downstairs. There's an intercom there as well, where we can make contact. Once you get a uniform, it should be fairly easy to find an elevator to the command bay. But if at any point your cover's blown, I'm gone. Provided you haven't sounded the alarm, then yeah, like I said, if you can find an intercom, I'll keep a channel open. This is a star station, so there are plenty of ventilation ducts you can slither into. As far as tactics go, it's an oldie, but goodie. Only military personnel are allowed out of the cargo area. That's why we need to get you to the barracks to find you a uniform. I would hope not. But if they do, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Either way, for now, get on that station and find that intercom. We'll talk more then.
Hello.
Beleza. Então, né, entrando aqui, a gente vai ter que fazer uma missão um pouquinho mais furtiva, vamos dizer assim, né? Não dá pra sair aqui, né, furando todo mundo ali, porque vai dar merda, né? De preferência, apesar que você tem esse opcional também se quiser, mas eu vou fazer na moralzinha, né? Por enquanto ali, ó, a gente vai de boa. A gente já tem um aviso ali, né, que fica na moral aí. Então a gente tem o objetivo, tá? Está marcado ali, por enquanto, aqui a gente tem acesso livre, tá? Não vamos ter problemas. A partir do momento que a gente entrar na área ali de segurança, aí o bagulho já começa a ficar um pouquinho mais complicado. O objetivo da missão tá aqui. Vamos conversar com a mina primeiro, que é o opcional.
This is Captain Huan, that you? And you found the intercom. That's a start. If I'm not mistaken, the maintenance door should be in front of you. If you can find a way to open it, it'll get you past the first checkpoint. Try eavesdropping on a few soldiers. Maybe one of them will mention a key. Right, pick a lock or pick a pocket. Shouldn't be too hard for a Crimson Fleet pirate to pull off. Anyway, the door will let you access the vents. Go up the vents and to the barracks. You should find a uniform there. The uniform should get you through the checkpoint and to the elevators. We'll talk again once you get to the command bay.
Bom, a gente pode tentar resolver a tranca ou fazer na moralzinha, né? Que no caso, a gente precisa encontrar alguém falando ali uma dica pra gente, tá? Sobre um cartão de acesso.
You seen Elijah? Probably downstairs searching for his maintenance key. I feel sorry for the guy. He'd lose his own thumb if it weren't attached to the knuckle.
Então a gente já conseguiu ali, ó, obter a informação da equipe. E agora sim a gente vai conversar com o cara aqui, que isso aqui também é opcional, tá? A tranca lá, se resolver, passa reto.
Now, where did I put that darn thing? Oh, well, this is embarrassing. I seem to have lost my key to the maintenance room again. Because this ain't the first time I lost my card, I'm worried about the impression that it'll make on my superiors. You know what they say, first time's an accident, second is a coincidence, third time, you're being reassigned to some sub-zero planet to mine glaciers for the Admiral's ice cubes. Oh, good idea. Oh, wait. Nope. That'd be a negatory on that front. But still, it was worth a shot. I've covered pretty much every inch of this place, except for the forklift. But that one guard, the one I owe credits to, is parked right there, so I'd rather not go there.
Beleza, e agora a gente precisa obter o cartão de acesso dele, porém o guarda tá protegendo ali, tá? Eu vou tentar dar uma olhadinha ali ao redor, mas já vai ser considerado como roubo, né, mano? E aqui seria meio complicado a gente tentar obter ali sem mover o guarda. Então eu vou ter que conversar com ele pra tirar ele daí. Não tem muito o que fazer não, infelizmente.
Something I can help you with? Elijah? Probably lost the hair on the back of his head. I'll go see what it's about.
Prontinho. Espere ele sair como padrão, né? Porque já deu pra ver ali que é considerado roubo. Espera também a gente ficar escondido ali de preferência. E aí sim, a gente obteve o cartão, tá? Claramente não precisaria fazer tudo isso daqui se você quiser resolver a tranca aqui, que é bem de boa também, né? Que é uma tranca ali tranquila, né? Então assim, é opcional. Pra quem quiser, bom proveito. Eu fiz ali na moralzinha porque, né, mano? A gente tem que mostrar ali todas as opções possíveis, né? Pra resolver tudo aqui. Tem um objetivo ali, eu vou na manha aqui, né? Entendi, a minhoca ali que tá me vendo. Faz sentido. Aí a gente vai ter os dutos ali pra ir caminhando dentro. Não precisa ficar abaixado dentro dos dutos não, tá? A gente não tem uma barrona lá em cima pra ficar escondido. Então pode ficar de boa. A gente vai ter que subir. Já deu pra reparar isso daí. Aqui a gente pode destravar também e passar pro outro lado, porém não é muito interessante fazer isso agora, porque ainda precisamos do uniforme, né? Porque a gente vai meio que, né, fingir ser um dos guardas ali também e ir caminhando pela área, tá? Aqui assim, pra fazer em stealth não é complicado, porém a gente tem umas áreas ali que o pessoal pode acabar desconfiando, tá? Então a gente tem que tomar bastante cuidado pra não dar merda, né? Porque aí vai ter que usar persuasão e os caramba 4 pra resolver a situação. E se falhar a persuasão, dá bosta. Então, né? A gente vai, pelo menos, explorar um pouquinho também, mas sem ficar, né? Dando muita volta pra não dar BO, tá? Porque aí pode dar ruim. E eu também não vou tentar demorar tanto assim não, porque, né? Não achei muita coisa interessante aqui dentro não. Vamos ver algumas informações aqui também. A gente já colocou o uniforme ali de guarda, então, né? A gente já pode caminhar pelo menos por umas áreas ali sem tantos problemas. Como padrão, a gente sempre vê as informações ali possíveis, né? Dos computadores, então eu deixo um pouco na tela aí pra quem quiser dar uma lida com calma também. Bom, e agora é hora da gente começar a dar um rolê aí também. Eu vou ir pegando algumas coisinhas por enquanto, tá? Não quer dizer que eu vou ficar a missão inteira pegando tudo ali também, porque é meio complicado. Só olhando tudo com bastante calma aqui. Não tem nada muito de interessante não. A gente também já tem ali, né? Faz um tempinho, mas finalmente, pelo menos a atualização aí do DLSS já saiu. Porque, né, querendo ou não, a gente tem que ser bem sincero também, né? O FSR da AMD é uma bosta. Infelizmente, não é bom igual o DLSS. Então, graças a Deus, a gente já tem aí pra dar aquela melhorada na gameplay. E realmente deu pra reparar que o jogo tá rodando melhor, tá? tá engasgando menos, tá fluindo melhor também, está bem mais nítido, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí, então, mano, ajudou muito. Só vou dar uma volta aqui por precaução, pra ver umas coisinhas a mais. E aí a gente já continua a missão, né? Aproveitar que eu tô aqui também, e é uma área onde eu posso dar uma caminhada mais tranquila, vamos dizer assim. Mas não vou ficar perdendo tanto tempo assim não. O bom é que a munição ali a gente vai ir estocando, né? Porque essa missão aqui eu não vou dar um tiro, mano. Tem esse detalhe, então a gente só vai guardando ali o que encontrar. Não sei se futuramente a gente consegue entrar aqui, tá? Mas quando eu chegar nessa área aqui pra fazer a exploração ali de todo o sistema, aí eu vou acabar descobrindo, né? Espero que o guarda não vá empacar comigo aqui. Que às vezes pode acontecer, né?
SY-920 Marines are hand-picked. To maintain op security, most of us here won't work another assignment.
Passou na moralzinha, então estamos safe.
Things were a little too loose under Commander Woods. With Commander Natara, we have stricter checkpoints, more patrols, and better security.
Bom, aparentemente não tem mais nada de interessante pra nós, não. Vamos seguir em frente com o objetivo da missão. É aqui... eu acho que já é, né, uma área de segurança, então não é bom ficar vacilando não. Tem umas áreas ali que com esse uniforme aqui o pessoal já começa a dar uma estranhada, tá? Em relação a ter acesso.
Yes.
Então aqui ainda estamos safe, mas partindo daqui para algumas regiões ali já pode dar BO, tá?
We have a full kitchen. Everything you could ever ask for in a Star.
Só mais pra deixar avisado mesmo, porque tipo, dá pra explorar? Dá. Mas a gente tem que ir encontrando os uniformes tudo, revirando ali pra não ter problema. Então, se der ali, né, uma hora ou outra a gente conseguir voltar aqui dentro também, aí eu exploro tudo com bastante calma, olho tudo os lugares ali direitinho.
Logging ensign level clearance. Go on ahead.
Your friend there have the same clearance?
Our commanding officer sent us both, so yes.
Then you're both good to go.
Não sei por que diabo de motivo o cara reconheceu a Sarah ali. E ela brotou praticamente do meu lado, porque, lembrando, a gente deixou ela lá na entrada, tá? Dessa estação aqui. E na hora que eu fui passar ali, o cara reconheceu que ela tava do meu lado, né? Mas beleza. É coisa que acontece e imprevistos que a gente tem que ir lidando conforme vai progredindo nas missões aqui do Starfield, né? Tem muita coisa pra arrumar ainda, isso é fato. Tem muita coisa pra ajeitar. Mas, né, mano, tá melhorando aos poucos, não reclamo não. Bastante conteúdo, pelo menos, o jogo tem, mano. Tem umas falhas ali e aqui, mas, cara, é um jogo bem legal. Em relação à história, melhorou muito. Pelo menos perante aos jogos anteriores, né? Essa daqui é a outra parte onde tinha um guarda lá, né? Que eu falei que não era bom ir também. Nem vou destravar porque a gente não vai usar, tá? E agora utilizar o elevador ali pra seguir em frente. Beleza, então bora lá. Continuar da onde a gente parou. Pegamos o elevador aqui. Subimos para o outro andar. Vamos conversar com a mina de novo.
This is Captain Huan. Good. And no alarms or warnings on the comms. Music to my ears. If you found a uniform, be sure to put it on. That'll provide some cover. I've hacked into the database, and it seems information on the comm spike is in the archives. There's a checkpoint you'll have to pass, which requires a clearance code.
Plenty of options, to be sure. We just need to choose the one that plays to our strengths.
Right. If you know yourself, you'll know the best path forward. If the two of you plan on using a disguise, try the security office. Otherwise, there's always a way around. Going dark for now. We'll talk again once you've located the comm spike.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later.
Beleza, né? Então a gente precisa continuar seguindo em frente e na moralzinha ali também, certo? Mantendo a descrição ali e sem dar BO e muita vacilada também, né? Temos algumas áreas que dá pra ir acessando. A gente tem que encontrar um outro duto ali também de ventilação. Vamos dar uma voltinha de leve aqui só pra dar uma entendida na área. Tem muita coisa interessante não, mas que aparecer a gente vai levando. Nem vou gastar ali também não. Tem um computador aqui. Beleza, né? Então, depois de resolver ali o computador, a gente vai ter algumas senhas, vamos dizer assim, né? Então, é interessante para nós aí, né? Não quer dizer que vamos utilizar, tá? Mas, pro desencargo de consciência é isso daí, tá? A porta tá aqui também, é uma tranca mestre ali, mas não tem necessidade de você passar por ela aí. Eu vou evitar ela, para não ficar perdendo tanto tempo assim. Você tem a opção de passar pelo duto também, que fica do outro lado, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí. Então assim, né? Se você quiser, dá pra destravar ali pela tranca. Caso contrário, dá pra ir bem na moral e conseguir chegar no objetivo também. O legal, pelo menos que eu acho aqui do Starfield, é que ele dá diversas opções e métodos também pra você ir completando a missão, né? E isso não é só em uma. É basicamente em todas, tá ligado? Então, querendo ou não, você tem uma liberdade aí a mais pra chegar no seu objetivo. Aqui, ó, eu vou ir me esgueirando mesmo em cima ali dos dutos, tá? Vou abaixado pra manter o personagem sempre alinhado ali e de boa, porque se eu passar correndo aqui eu não sei se pode dar BO. Creio eu que não dê, mas ainda assim pode ter uma facilidade a mais de você cair aí, né? Que às vezes o personagem é meio torto, já deu pra entender a situação, né? Crédito eu sempre levo. E aí a gente chegou nos outros dutos. E agora é só descer. É o jeito, né? Beleza. Tem um computador aqui do outro lado também. Esse abre a porta ali, beleza. Porta abriu, tranquilo. E aí a gente tem um computador aqui com o objetivo da missão, né? Como padrão, eu vou deixar um pouquinho na tela pra vocês aí. Quem quiser dar uma lida com calma, só pausar o vídeo pra entender melhor. Beleza, e agora é hora de prosseguir ali com a missão. Bom, aparentemente ainda não é uma área que vai nos dar tantos problemas, né? Já que o guarda ali nem tá muito preocupado. O computador aqui é a mesma coisa, então não tem por que a gente ficar olhando de novo as informações ali. A gente vai ter que passar pelo acesso aqui. Só abrir a porta. E bora lá, né? Aqui a gente tem diversos computadores ali com informações, né? Pelo menos pessoal aqui dos caras. Só que também não é uma área que a gente tem um acesso tão tranquilo, vamos dizer assim, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí. Pode ser que se você ficar revirando muito aqui essa área, algum dos guardas ali ache meio estranho e acabe aí, né, tendo um diálogo com você. Então é bom tomar bastante cuidado. Como a gente tá querendo ir ser um pouco mais objetivo ali, porque se futuramente der pra entrar aqui, a gente vai entrar. O objetivo tá em outra sala, beleza? Vamos lá.
It's always something with that doctor. Not to change the subject, but are we concerned about the potential leaks?
No. Until you can provide more substantial proof, we'll simply monitor the situation at the cargo bay. For now, I've recommended to Dr. Vogel to contact me immediately.
Logo a comandante ali, hein, mano? Isso poderia dar uma bosta.
It's good to be back on board.
Beleza, a gente tem ali, ó, um comunicador. Precisamos conversar com a mina mais uma vez. Então bora lá, só vou dando uma olhadinha ao redor aqui pra ver se não tô perdendo nada.
Yu here. Cargo's almost unloaded. We'll be departing shortly. It's nothing you've done. You've managed to get through the entire station without raising a single alarm. But the longer I stick around, the more people ask questions. And that's before they find out what you've been up to. You are, and I've delivered you just as Delgado asked. That being said, I can stay in orbit for a short while. I'll need to send word to Delgado anyway, if you don't get off that station. But it looks like you'll need to find your own way off the ship. That doesn't mean you're trapped. On a station this big, there are bound to be other vessels you can steal. As a member of the Crimson Fleet, I trust you can handle that. Stay clear of any Marines or try a scientist outfit. You're more likely to be a stranger if you're wearing a lab coat. Other than that, the only advice I can give you is find Dr. Vogel. Whenever I hear chatter about that project, that's the name that comes up. Find him, and you'll find your target. You've made it this far without engaging in combat. I trust you'll have no issues moving further. It was an honor to work with a true professional. Good luck. If you manage to get the comm spike and make it out alive, next time you're at the Nova, I'll buy you a drink.
Beleza, então, né, a mina foi embora e a gente vai ter que dar um jeito de sair daqui por enquanto. Deu um save ali por precaução, porque sabe como é que é a situação, né? Pode dar merda. E bora lá seguir em frente. A gente já reparou também que agora precisamos encontrar um traje de cientista, tá? Pra conseguir andar um pouquinho mais, né, zen nessa área aqui, tá? Onde os soldados ali meio que, né, não é muito pra ficar aqui. Então, querendo eu ou não, vou ter que procurar por um traje aí, mano. Vamos dar uma volta, olhar ali ao redor, ver se eu encontro alguma coisa pra trocar de roupa aí também. Vou ir abrindo as portas aqui, vendo na onde que tem um. É, vou ter que abrir mesmo, tenho que fazer não.
Easy money.
Beleza.
So, what's this big project you're working on?
Well,
Mais um computador aqui com algumas informações. Vou deixar na tela. Quem quiser dar uma lida com calma, só pausar o vídeo. Beleza. Será que é um traje aqui, mano? É ele mesmo. Top. Bora lá. Trocar de roupa de novo. Pra gente se disfarçar aqui de um cientista dessa área, né, mano? Vou tirar a boina ali também por precaução. Vai que dá bosta, né? E agora a gente já pode caminhar um pouco, tá? Deixa o cofre aí, não vou ficar perdendo tanto tempo, não. A gente já tem um computador aqui, eu acho que é a mesma coisa do outro, é isso mesmo. E a gente já tem um duto ali, né? Pra passar também. Eu acho que eu vou utilizar ele a nosso favor já. Apesar que se dá a volta aqui por fora... Ih, rapaz. Eu acho que é a comandante ali, mano. Não vou pra lá não, pera aí. Vou tomar um cuidado da porra.
Yes, if you have experience flying. You should talk to Dr. Vogel.
I don't know. I've flown a Discovery class, but I'm not
É sempre bom a gente dar uma reviradinha, tá? Porque a gente tem aquelas provas lá pra entregar pro cara e completar uma missão, tá? Pra mina que tá do lado do líder da frota lá. Você viu que a menina ia sacar a arma ali, né? Ah, encontramos aqui a prova aqui, ó.
Can you talk to the commander? Get me reinstated? Natara's doing you a favor, Marcine. Would you prefer to court-martial? Dishonorable discharge? Because all of that was on the table. I would have preferred things to remain as they were, so I made a mistake. But my work on the Comspike was and is irrelevant. Dr. Vogel will do just fine without you. Besides, we both know the only reason you were on that project was to bloat the budget so we could embezzle the creds. And to that end, your share of the funds should be transferred to your Gal Bank account shortly. What am I supposed to even say to that? Those funds are the reason I don't have a job. You could start by saying thank you. Hell, I even warned you not to poke the bear. Commander Natara being the Ursine Predator in this analogy. Aaron was right. I should have never hit send. Yeah, you screwed up. Royally. But you can protect Dr. Gong and all the King's subjects by keeping your mouth shut from now on. Yeah. Hey, you want my advice? On some planet at the edge of the galaxy where you can relax for a bit. Lean back. Really dig your feet in the sand. Just get your mind off all of this. Oh, and stop with the sad puppy dog face, too. Makes you look guilty. And what kind of face am I supposed to have? The face of someone who got away with it.
Beleza, né? Então mais uma prova aí também obtida. E aqui do lado a gente já tem o nosso objetivo, né? Que agora é conversar com o cientista, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí. Então, também temos um duto aqui. Depois eu posso utilizar ele, certo? Pra conseguir seguir em frente ali. Apesar que deixa eu dar uma olhadinha pra ver o que tem aqui, ó. Opa! Um traje de piloto daqui também, ó. Cara, isso daqui deve ter alguma relação com a missão. Então já vou aproveitar pra pegar, viu? Vamos dar uma revirada aqui na situação rapidinho. E a gente já vai ali pro objetivo conversar com o cientista.
SY-920 Marines are hand-picked. To maintain op security, most of us here won't work another assignment.
Bom, creio eu que, pelo jeito, não tem nada mais de interessante não. Vamos conversar com o cientista ali e prosseguir com a missão.
Intercepting transponder data in a Alpha system might be promising. According to autocorrelation models, results in risk increased by a magnitude of 2. But we won't tell Commander Natar. What she doesn't know won't kill her. Wait, who are you? Why are you in here? Did you not see the sign? The sign outside that says no visitors. Wait, did they not put that up? I requested it ages ago, but not surprising. Ever since Commander Natara took over, the priorities have changed. Oh yes, I've been studying decryption of all types for quite a long time. Probably since before you took your first grav jump. Signal protocol, quantum ratchet symmetry, interleaving data extrapolation. You name it, I've lectured on it. I've probably forgotten half of it, but I definitely knew it once. Don't you mean access to the ship? Because the comm spike isn't a device, it's a module. It's attached to a prototype in one of our docking ports. We're still in the testing phase, running decryptions across a variety of signal types, but the results so far have been very promising. It can even interpolate signal data lost in the retrieval. It really is a wondrous technology. Well, yes. In the same way the Almagest is a book on constellations and a supernova is an explosion in space. The greatest scientific minds the UC has to offer did not congregate to this station to build just a module. The brightest engineers in the settled systems did not get transferred to this station to build just a module.
In a top-secret facility, I'd expect nothing less than cutting-edge tech. The only question is, does it work?
Well, I can tell you right now, it does work. In theory, anyway. I was speaking English. Maybe you weren't paying attention. I'll repeat myself. The comm spike is a decryption module. And yes, there are certain kinks to be worked out, missing parts and the occasional traumatic injury here and there, but it's all part of the adventure. Oh, it's ready. We're long past the inference stage. Statistical models can only go so far. And now that we've corrected the prior mishaps, it's time for real flesh and blood pilots to stress test the systems. The kind unafraid to make the necessary sacrifices. In short, I've requested a full squadron of these brave and fearless Marines to be transferred to the station. They'll give the prototype a final run, and provided there are minimal casualties, we can present our findings to Mast.
E nas opções aqui, ó, dá até pra ver ali que, mano, a gente tem um opcional pra trair a mina, tá ligado? E já entregar ela ali pro cara, né, mano? Isso pode dar algum tipo de BO aí, mas eu vou tentar só persuadir mesmo, que eu acho que vai ser a melhor opção.
Splendid. That was fast. I thought I put in the request this morning. Normally my requests aren't given this much attention, let alone haste. It seems a tad suspicious. You do have a point. Classified? I'm the head of the Spike project. I would have gotten word of this ahead of time. Commander Natara, you say? Oh, well, we don't want to make her angry. She's terrifying. You're right. We do need to hurry if we're going to have this module ready in time. All right, you've convinced me. You're the new task pilot. You'll need a uniform and a terminal password to authorize a flight and get past Natara's cumbersome checkpoints. The uniform you can get in the locker room area, the password you get from me. You'll find the prototype ship at Docking Bay 8. Use the password to access the flight terminals in the control center. And of course, best of luck. You are doing science a great service by undertaking this sacrifice.
Beleza, né? Então, vamos só dar uma olhadinha aqui no computador também dele aí, né? Por precaução, para ver algumas informações. Porém, aparentemente, a gente já tá aí nos finalmentes aqui, vamos dizer assim, dessa missão. Beleza. O objetivo tá ali. É a fuga, né, mano? Então, como padrão, dei um save pra vai que pode dar alguma bosta, certo? Aqui, iremos equipar ali todo o traje do bagulho também, né? Porque senão pode dar algum tipo de BO. É o piloto ali pra essa nave em específico. E agora a gente vai lá pro objetivo, tá? Já olhamos aqui o computador, se eu não estou enganado. A gente já olhou já. E bora lá, né? Continuar. Aqui a gente também já deu uma exploradinha. Não tem por que ficar perdendo mais tanto tempo assim. Se eu não estou enganado, a gente tem uma outra passagem de dutos aqui, para facilitar a nossa caminhada aí também. Vamos descer aqui. Caminho correto não faço ideia, mas a gente chega lá, mano, relaxa. A gente chega lá. Tinha um duto ali atrás também, interessante. Só dar uma olhadinha pro que tem aqui pra este lado. Eu acho que não tem nada demais não, né? É mesmo, eu quase ia esquecendo, tá? Por que que eu entrei nessa parte aqui? Acabei de lembrar. Tem que registrar a parte de você pilotar a nave lá. E a autorização aqui no computador, né? Que é ali, ó, o controle de voo, tá? Porque se você já ir direto ali na hora da saída, entrar na nave e tentar sair com ela, mano, os caras vão alvejar o bagulho com força, tá? E sem contar que eu tô jogando no modo mais difícil, mano, e a nave, ela não tem, né? Não é modificada, melhorada, então não tá forte o suficiente, vamos dizer assim, pra se proteger sozinha, tá? E mesmo que tu tente desviar, o bagulho pode ficar louco ainda. Então, mano, de preferência, registre o voo aqui pra você ter autorização direitinho. E aí, mano, evita BO ali também na hora de você sair com ela, mano, porque senão pode dar bosta isso daí. Então, a gente registrou ali o teste. E agora sim, né, mano? Só partir lá e entrar nela.
We've been asked to tighten security on this station. Orders are orders.
Off right away, or?
Já dentro da nave aqui. Bora lá. Fazer o teste. Antes de você subir ali na parte do piloto, já vai ter a confirmação, tá? Se você fez isso aqui ou não, tá? Os caras vão te avisar.
Prototype ship, you are cleared for takeoff. We'll begin the test on your departure.
Só pra deixar tudo certo aí.
Recording test flight data. Please adhere to the scheduled flight plan and let us know if you have any issues.
E aí aquele esquema, né? Agora a gente tá livre, pode ver que os caras nem tá atacando a gente, porque fizemos tudo direitinho na autorização ali. E agora eu vou colocar aqui tudo na parte do motor, grave. E a gente vai fazer uma dobra ali direto pra chave, que é a Frota Escarlate. Se eu não me engano, essa nave aqui, ela já vai ser nossa a partir de agora também, tá? E aí a partir desse momento é uma coisa bem simples, tá? A gente vai acoplar ali a nave na frota e conversar com o cara lá dentro. Bora lá. Então só vou deixar no esquema ali, a gente já corta pros diálogos, né? Pra não ficar perdendo tanto tempo.
Nice clean dock, Captain.
Well, well, well. Welcome back, Rook. Looks like you got a new toy for me. Go on in and give everyone the lowdown. We'll take care of things from here. That's a real nice ship you brought in. I can't wait to tinker with it.
If you need credits, hit
Nice to know Neva was right about you. It's good to have a promising rookie with the fleet. Surprise? Neva talks tough, and frankly, she is tough. But she's not a machine. I won't deny I helped. Let's hope the compensation reflects that, huh? Anyway, I believe I owe you a drink. It's the last time I'm paying, of course. Because if Delgado's right about Crix's legacy, you've earned more than your fair share already with that comm spike. Yeah, and I had to feign my surprise to make sure I didn't rat you out. But thanks for trusting me with that info all the same. Us rooks have to stick together. Sounds like you're on board as a true believer. I have to admit, the way things are going, I'm starting to believe myself.
Discovering Crix's legacy would solve one of the settled system's great mysteries. Oh, I'm as curious and excited as anyone to see what we'll find.
Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Now that you've had your drink and my debt is paid, it's time for you to give Delgado the good news.
Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the comm spike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
Don't worry your pretty little head about your damn ship. We had it brought back here safe and sound. Now pay attention. Dale went out of his way to tell you how impressed he was. You just gonna leave him hanging like that? Should have taken the compliment, Rook. Dale doesn't give those out often. Huan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She gave you some really high praise. Said you were a pro.
And from what I hear, receiving praise from Huan is quite an accomplishment. All in all, a job well done. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have 2 of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end to the other. Comm spike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted. All right, that leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that powers the city. We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannock 4. It's all we got. Now you are part of this job, so deal with it. Besides, I've learned never to question Jasmine's talent. It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
You damn right she can. My girl can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, neighbor. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
You get to meet up with the lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash. No. There is no getting along here. You are going to do everything she asks. Follow her instructions to the letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
Understood. We'll do our best to remain on her good side.
Never mind her good side. You'd be better off appealing to her bank account. That is what drives her.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Sauvage's place. I'd say don't keep her waiting, but chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us, so I want you focused. We are one step away from Crix's legacy, and we cannot afford any screw-ups.
Those creds ain't gonna steal themselves.
Beleza, a partir deste momento aqui a gente só precisa encerrar a missão, tá? O detalhe maior é que a gente tem algumas coisinhas pra pegar, porque agora podemos andar aí pela chave sem problemas. Vindo aqui do início, a gente vai ter ali o serviço, né, de nave, vamos dizer assim, das peças, certo? Entrando aqui, a gente vai ter um códice aqui também, ó, bem aqui no cantinho pra pegar, tá? Creio eu que não vai ter tantos problemas a gente pegar ali, não pode... Acho que não vai ser considerado como roubo, vamos dizer assim. Não vai ser, beleza.
Hey, champ. I'm including this month's list of parts I need for the key. Don't bust a gut, it's hefty, but I know you can handle it. I'm gonna need a lot more than usual this time. I'm planning to overhaul the entire electrical system before it completely shorts out. Oh yeah, thanks for sending over the key's reactor specs. I can't tell you exactly why I needed those. Dell said to keep it hush-hush. As far as next month's shipment, start scrounging up some parts so I can spruce up our defensive batteries. They're looking kind of rusty. Well, I guess that's it for now. I'll have my people in New Atlantis drop off the payment at the spaceport. Just make sure you aren't being followed. We wouldn't want the UC to know they're providing replacement parts to the Crimson Fleet.
O outro, a gente está partindo aqui também da entrada, tá? Da chave ali, então vamos fazer o caminho até ele agora, certo? Ó, você vai seguir em frente até a parte central ali, vamos dizer assim. Aí virando aqui para a esquerda, a gente vai ter os alojamentos, né? Que é onde o pessoal dorme. Então vamos seguir aqui retão até o fundo lá. Porque a gente tem que pegar isso daqui antes das missões finais ali, senão não vai ter como mais, tá? Tem esse detalhe aí. E bem no cantinho aqui, ó, a gente já vai ter o próximo códice ali como prova, tá? E bora lá.
So wait, say that again. You think I'm who?
Stop playing games. We both know your real name is Leonel Soto, and you know why I'm here.
Who are you? Fleet? Ecliptic? An independent?
I've spent 2 long years and every credit I had looking for you, just so I could look you in the eye before I pulled the trigger.
Hey, what's with the gun? There must be some mistake. I honestly don't know who you are.
Of course you don't know who I am. You're never concerned with the death you leave in your wake, in your pursuit of greed. You killed my husband, you son of a bitch! And now I'm going to kill you!
Such a terrible shame. All that time and money she wasted. Ah, well. Better get rid of the body.
Beleza. O próximo ali também, ó, partindo da entrada aqui, a gente vai pra área de controle lá, que é onde fica o Delgado, tá? Porque esse códice tá lá, então a gente precisa pegar o elevador aqui, vamos subir. E aí a gente também precisa ir pra sala onde ele fica ali na parte de cima, tá? E aí bem lá no fundão, a gente vai ter o computadorzinho dele ali, ó, onde ele tá. E bem no cantinho aqui, ó, a gente vai ter o códice. Então, só pegar aí também, né? E agora é só voltar lá no comandante lá da frota da UC pra gente, né, reportar pra ele e encerrar a missão.
What can I do for you? The commander appreciates the sacrifice you've made, going undercover. Nice work. Let me take a look. Finally. We've been tracking the Jade Swan for almost a year, but Captain Dayu's somehow remained one step ahead. Every time we've scanned that ship, it's come up empty. Well, she's not going to skate away this time. Nice work. Anything else? Cost overruns, siphoning project funds? How deep does this well go? Our forensic accounting team is going to have their hands full. I'll send this to Mast right away. Let's just hope that a few rotten apples within the UC haven't spoiled the entire bunch. Find anything else? Yeah, you're right. But there's no way this was a solo job. Shifting all those parts takes serious manpower. I'll send this to Mast so they can shake the tree a bit, see what falls out. Looks like Durand better start looking for parts somewhere else. Any other fragments? So Voss engineered a way to directly interface with the key's mainframe? I knew he was a math genius, but didn't realize he was so tech-savvy. Well, we'll share this information with Galbank. Hopefully it'll help them shore up the security on their cryptocurrency. That it? We were aware that Miss LaRue was involved with Fergus Wickham. When her body was recovered, SysDef assumed he was the culprit. Sounds like we had it wrong. Should have pinned the murder on this Clay Dietrich perp. Well, we'll have to clear that up. Nice find. Have any more? So, Mr. Yasso is actually Lionel Soto. We thought Soto was dead. At least, that's what the records told us. I'll have the records updated, but seeing as Mr. Yasso has surrounded himself with the Crimson Fleet, there isn't much we can do. Yet. Have any more? Understood. Keep searching and you're bound to find more. Yeah. I figured it was only a matter of time before this came up. The reason I didn't bring up the Crimson Fleet is, well, I was one of them. It's something I'm not exactly proud of.
He knows quite a bit about my journey. But I'd appreciate it if you didn't mention this conversation to him. I know a great deal about how they operate, what frequencies they use, their encryption techniques, their methods. So, in short, yes. Common ground, but not a common beginning. I was recruited out of New Atlantis by Neva Mora. She said I was making a name for myself, and it caught the fleet's attention. I was thrilled. It was a chance at bigger and better scores and gave me a ticket off-world. Why the heck would I say no? I raised hell on New Atlantis until someone stood up and took notice. And just like Adler Kemp stuck his neck out and vouched for you, someone else in the fleet did the same thing for me. In fact, it was my idea to send you to Sidonia for your first, well, I suppose you call it a mission. Even if I had, I was ignoring the potential repercussions. They took me in. Delgado ran me through the paces on Suvorov, and before I knew it, I was part of the team. Now I was making some serious money. That apartment I boasted about in New Atlantis became a joke. I even made enough to buy my own ship. What do you think? It's a giant ice ball. I froze my behind off. We spent a while exploring the surface near the lock, while Delgado laid out his spiel about honor among thieves and all that nonsense. Never got a look inside the facility like you did. Oh, it dropped. Hard. Everything changed thanks to Commander Akande. The man basically saved my life. I owe him everything. He's a special man. I've never met anyone else like him. Look, I've already said too much. I promised Commander Akande I wouldn't talk to anyone about this. All you need to take away is that I've literally walked a mile in your shoes, and I appreciate the risks that you're taking. Carry through with this mission. I promise you I'll be there every step of the way. I suppose, though the commander won't be thrilled that I told you, so keep it to yourself. So, when I was running with the Crimson Fleet, I put together a hell of a crew. 6 of the toughest pirates I could find. On the record, it's against regulations. My personnel profile is private, and you need the proper authorization to access the file. Off the record, Commander Akande isn't exactly popular at Mast for the way he runs his operation, so he likes to keep these things quiet. The fact that an ex-pirate is second in command to SysDef's pride and joy wouldn't inspire waves of confidence from his superiors. Oh, absolutely. I couldn't take my eyes off of any of them for even a second. Imagine trying to get some shut-eye on a ship like that. Didn't sleep much, I can assure you. My first mate was Arya Fikes, the toughest of the bunch. The only problem was that she had a hell of a temper. The smallest things could just set her off, and believe me, she took a while to cool down. Honestly, she was so overbearing she kind of fell into the role on her own. I didn't even make it official for months. Despite her temper, she always had my back and helped me keep the rest of the crew in line. Of course, it also helped that she was the best pilot in the fleet. She flew rings around what SysDef was throwing at us back then. Well, the positives outweighed the negatives. At first. Anyway, there was this one particular incident where we had a hot tip on a freighter supposedly running heavy with ore. The second we dropped out of grav space, we knew it was a trap. We'd been set up, and the UC was waiting for us. Somehow we managed to take out all of their attack ships. I grabbed Arya and we boarded the freighter. Well, it showed up on Shinya Voss's mission board, which means it could have come from anywhere. I don't know what he's like now, but back then, all of his missions were pretty solid leads with good pay. It wasn't brave. It was arrogant. We fought our way to the bridge and the crew surrendered. That's when the Vigilance arrived. I watched it vaporize my ship and crew in seconds. Commander Akande radioed over for us to give up, turn ourselves in. Arya went wild. Said she'd start executing crew if they didn't let us leave. The commander tried to talk some sense into her, but she was too far gone. I knew right then she'd rather die than surrender. Even as a pirate, I had my limits. I'd never shoot someone that was unarmed and couldn't fight back. As long as they surrendered and gave up the goods, there was no need for them to die. None at all. We were marooned on that freighter. No ship, no escape shuttles, and no chance of rescue. You can't even imagine. Commander Akande promised to be lenient if we let the crew go. When we didn't reply, he sent over a ship to board us. I saw Arya put her gun to one of the hostages' heads, and saw that look in her eye. I could actually see her squeezing the trigger. Next thing I knew, a shot rang out. I'll never forget that look on Arya's face as she fell to the ground with the wound in her chest. Looked down at the gun in my hand like it belonged to someone else. I still don't know why I did it. I keep reliving that moment over and over. Analyzing it. Wondering if I could have done anything different. Every single time, I come up with the same result. Long story short, I spent a year in jail, then Keebway recruited me. I guess he saw something in me, a desire to turn my life around. I busted my ass to get where I am today. First mate of the Vigilance. Ironic I'd end up in Arya's position, don't you think? It took a while, and a lot of reflection, but I know we made the right choice. Had I continued down the road I was traveling back then, we wouldn't be speaking right now. I owe everything to Commander Akande for giving me a second chance. We'll be here if you need us.
You have permission to speak freely. It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. But you did so with an abundance of stealth and restraint. That's exactly what we're looking for in a SysDef operative.
Starting a firefight on SY-920 would have been an inappropriate course of action. We favored the quiet approach.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the comm spike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. With the acquisition of the comm spike, the fleet is one step closer to Crix's legacy. And the more people we arrest, the greater the chance that your infiltration is discovered. We're working against the clock here, so let's start by discussing the status of the comm spike. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the comm spike.
Then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. Your ship will need special protection to ensure the electromagnetic disturbances in the planet's atmosphere don't fry your circuits. The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
If that's the case, inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the Lock, touched off by Jasper Creeks, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and MAST will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. It's long overdue. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
Beleza, com isso a gente acaba completando a missão, recebemos conquista, já iniciamos a próxima. Completamos a missão ali também de pegar as provas. Eu ainda vou ver se eu esqueci alguma, né? Se tiver por aí eu já vou buscar antes de iniciar a próxima missão. Se gostou, deixa o like, se inscreva no canal. Valeu, falou!